Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 action comedy Stuber, a film that is directed by Michael Dowes and it stars Dave Bautista as Detective Vic Manning, and we have Kumail Nanjiani as Stu, and Mira Sorvino also makes an appearance in the film. Now this is a film that I saw the trailer for a while ago. I thought it looked okay. I am, generally speaking, a big fan of Dave Bautista, although I do question some of his film choices sometimes. But I do understand this film choice because it's his first real lead in a major cinema release, you could argue, and he was keen to do it. And what is this film about? Well, this film focuses on Dave Bautista's character, Vic, Detective Vic Manning, who is chasing Iko Uwais, who is a bad guy, a drug dealer, and he's actually chasing him with his partner at the beginning of the film, played by Karen Gillan, who makes an appearance, and he becomes obsessed with this drug dealer. He gets away, things don't go well, and he's given some time off by his captain, so he decides he's going to get an eye operation in this time that he has off, some laser eye treatment. However, just after the surgery, he is given a major tip-off that this drug dealer that he is chasing is doing one big last deal that night. And Dave Bautista, he ain't going to wait about. So he orders an Uber driver, who is played by Kumail Nanjiani, Stu, and essentially kidnaps him and takes him along for the ride as he tries to take down this drug dealer. And obviously, as you can imagine, Stu is not very keen on this idea. All he wants is a 5-star rating and to get home to the woman that he loves. So that is essentially the story that you get here. Now, I've got to say, I was pleasantly surprised by this film. Is it original? Not particularly. Is it fairly formulaic? And yes, it is formulaic. It is what you've seen before many times in many ways. The script is one of those Hollywood scripts that you've seen recycled over and over again, like the buddy cop thing, and they've just recycled it over again with betrayals you can see coming a mile away. There's nothing that elevates this film in regards to the script and the idea and stuff. What elevates this film is Dave Bautista and Kumail Nanjiani. Their chemistry is very, very real. And I've been watching a few interviews leading up to watching this film, and they genuinely like each other, and you can see they had a really good time making this film. There's great chemistry between the two. The comedy obviously comes from Kumail, who is very, very funny as Stu. He's got a very unique sense of humour and this unique comedy that just works with this brutish character that he's up against, Dave Bautista's character. They try and demasculinize Dave Bautista to some degree with the gimmick of him like being blind for part of the film after just having his eye surgery, so he can barely see anything. So he needs Stu's help for the most part of the film. And that kind of works, even though it does get a little bit tiresome. But the chemistry of these two guys keeps the interest throughout, and they get into all sorts of escapades, chasing down this vicious drug dealer, trying to catch him doing one last deal. And that, essentially, it's not a particularly complicated film to watch. It's an entertaining film to watch. I'm not going to lie, I was entertained. I thought it was well made, it was fun, it was funny at times. The action was adequate when they put it on screen. There was decent tension with the fight scenes. There were some good shootouts, some good explosions. Everything that you would expect in a movie like this. It was just a shame that the script was very bland for the most part, full of characters other than these two, other than the two leads, full of very generic and poorly written characters. And I think if it wasn't for Dave Bautista and Kumail Nanjiani's chemistry, this film would have been a massive misfire. Now, if you watch this film and you don't appreciate or agree with me in regards to these guys' chemistry and the amount of fun that they're having on screen, you're probably not going to like this film particularly, because, like I say, it is very generic, and you have seen this sort of thing many times before. But for me, I thought it was real, the chemistry. I thought the idea was fresh enough to make it to keep my interest throughout. I thought the comedy, for the most part, worked. I thought it wasn't overly, it wasn't like in your face comedy. It was very relevant comedy, and it managed to be relevant at time in some of the statements it was making as well, but also funny too. And there is some genuine laughs to be had with this. So yeah, it's a very passable action comedy, with a fairly bland script and fairly bland characters. I think it could have been much better, and you could potentially see sequels coming if it's a hit at the cinema. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I was entertained by it, but not blown away by it, is my assessment of this film. So yeah, that's my review for Stuber. It's worth checking out if you're a fan of action comedies. So thank you very much for watching, everybody, and of course I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.